We'll now start the regular press conference by Foreign Minister Hayashi. From my side, I have one announcement. At today's cabinet meeting, a partial revision to the government's ordinance related to the consular service fees handled at diplomatic missions abroad was approved. This enables online credit card payment of the consular fees collected at diplomatic missions abroad. This is one of the measures to put administrative procedures online, which is being promoted by the government and is a pioneering program amongst government ministries and agencies. March 27th, 2023 is going to be the enforcement date. This will first be implemented at 5 embassies and consulates, and the coverage will be widened over time. At the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, given the move toward cashless payment, progressing both in and outside of Japan, we will promote further online provision of consular services for improved convenience and efficiency. As for details, please contact the officials. That is all from me.
Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please raise your hands, and when you're called upon, go to the microphone nearby and state your name and affiliation before you ask a question. Nobita-san, Asahi Shimbun. Nobita from Asahi Shimbun. I would like to ask about the infection of COVID-19 in China. So they have changed their zero COVID policy, and their infection has been increasing. The medical institutions are being pressured. There's a lot of confusion. What is your view on this? The Chinese government, as well as the regional governments, has been saying through press conferences that within China, there is an increase in the number of infections, and also there's pressure placed on the medical institutions. We understand that. As the Japanese government, the infectious behavior in China, as well as the infection prevention measures, we are closely watching with high interest on the impact of the lives of the citizens, including both Japanese nationals and also activities of Japanese companies, as well as the impact on Chinese economy. And based on the infection trend, through the Japanese Embassy and the Consulate General, we have issued consulate mail on the infection prevention measures and also prevention of infection, as well as fever clinics in various regions. And we also are responding to consultation by the citizens as well. So we will be analyzing and collecting information, and based on the information of the national there, we will communicate with the Chinese side, and we will protect the citizens as well as provide support to the activities of Japanese companies.
Asahari-san from Pan Orient News.
Thank you. Pan Orient News. My question is about the new Israeli government that was established and led by the same prime minister, under which Israel maintained its annexation of Palestinian and Syrian land by military force, thus changing the status quo. Japan has been taking a leading international role against the change of status quo by force, especially against Russia recently. Would Japan stand against Israel's annexation of Palestinian and Syrian land by force, like you do in the same way against Russia? Thank you.
Generally speaking, under international law, territory occupied by force to be unilaterally annexed is not permitted. From this perspective, Japan has maintained the position that Israeli annexation of Golan Heights is not to be recognized. That's been a consistent position of Japan. So with respect to Israeli-Palestine conflict, it should be a two-state solution that through negotiation by the parties, the matter should be resolved. And that is the position of the Japanese government. And we're strongly asking the Israeli government to refrain from acts to unilaterally change the status quo. Russian invasion into Ukraine shakes the foundation of international order that the international community has built with tremendous effort and sacrifice. So Japan works with G7 countries, and we have responded with firm determination. So with respect to relations with different countries, based on specific circumstances, we are giving a comprehensive consideration of these matters.
Hinashi from Kyoto Tsujin. I'd like to ask a question about North Korea. North Korea on the 18th to Japan Sea has launched 2 ballistic missiles, and they may be countering against the counterattack document. And also, concerning the timing of the nuclear experiment, it's said that it's going to be sometime around mid-January, so I would like to know the government's view on this. On the 18th, the ballistic missile launch, inclusive of that, the North Korea has, with unprecedented frequency and mode, been repeatedly launching ballistic missiles. And this is a very serious as well as imminent threat to our national security, and also it will be threatening the peace and safety of the region as well as the international society. It cannot be tolerated, and it violates the relevant Security Council resolutions. As the government, concerning the military trend of North Korea, we have been collecting the necessary information and carrying out analysis. And going forward, North Korea, inclusive of the implementation of nuclear experiments, we believe that there is a possibility that they will take further provocative action. So going forward with U.S.-Japan and U.S.-Japan, South Korea, we will communicate closely and cooperate with the international society so that we will ask for the a complete implementation of the relevant United Nations Security Council resolution and ask for denuclearization.
Iwata-san from NHK. My name is Iwasawa from NHK. China and Russia joint military exercise. According to Russian Defense Ministry, from the 21st of this month in East China Sea, there is to be a joint exercise with the Chinese new Navy. Can you respond? And the fact that it will take place in East China Sea, what is going to be the impact on Japan's security? On the 19th of December, the Russian Defense Ministry announced that from December 21st to the 27th, they will conduct a joint military exercise between the Chinese and Russian navies in East China Sea. Recently, both militaries in China and Russia have conducted joint action at an accelerated pace in regions surrounding Japan. And this year we have seen joint navigation by their vessels as well as joint flights by their bombers. The announced joint military exercise with the Chinese and Russian navies, these types of exercises have been conducted almost every year. But including this exercise, such joint action by those countries, the impact on our security, we will continue to pay constant attention as to what the impacts may be.
Iwasawa-san from NHK, please. Iwasawa from NHK speaking. I would like to ask a question about the G7 Hiroshima summit next year. It says that with the G7 Hiroshima summit in May, President Biden of the United States is thinking of visiting Nagasaki, so can you please respond? With the G7 summit meeting concerning the events thereof, these are still being considered. And inclusive of President Biden, concerning their individual itinerary of individual leaders, we have not yet started any specific consideration thereof.
Tanaka-san from GG Press. Tanaka from GG Press. Earlier, there was a question about North Korea, so I have a related question. Spokesperson of Foreign Minister saying that Japan's counter-strike capability cannot be accepted, and they said that they will show substantial action, indicating further provocation. What is your response? Now, as to the developments of North Korea, including military developments, we are paying quite a bit of attention, and we are trying to collect information and analyze such information. And including the point that you have raised, I would like to refrain from making comments to each one of such developments. The government will continue to collect information, analyze the information, and to do our best in surveillance. And we will work toward complete denuclearization of North Korea. We will continue to collaborate with the U.S. as well as Japan, U.S., and South Korea. That concludes the press conference for today. Thank you very much for your attendance.